am Dr. Ruksana, a special counselor for drug addicts and alcoholics. It's very easy for us to label it. He is a drug addict, she is a drug addict, or he is an alcoholic, or she is an alcoholic, and they are being labeled and they are out of the normal society. In case if they are out of the normal society, where they do go? If at all, if a child is an alcoholic at the age of 12, because we get cases at the age of 12, he is an alcoholic. Alcoholic means alcoholic. Without alcohol, he is not able to do it. What is the age what I am telling? It is 12 years. And I am talking about a girl who is about 18 years and she is a drug addict. It means she is a drug addict. So, over a period of time, we have to understand what exactly is this addicts, alcoholics. Because for me to become an alcoholic, for anybody to become an alcoholic, it is not one day or a fortnight, a month or a year or 2 years or 5 years. So, if I am talking about a 12-year-old child, so from when is he? So, that is the questions what we have to ask. In case if the child has started when he was just 8, 9, what are we parents doing? Is it that he wanted to become that? Is it that he was aware about what drugs or alcohol was, or maybe some other chemical substance or the herbal kind of drugs what we have, the pharma drugs what we have. At the age of 16, at the age of 18 or at the age of 12, how are they accessible? Here we have too many unanswered questions because this particular subject is not discussed and they don't like discussing it. They only want to solve the problem without any discussion. So, especially in the Indian cases what I have seen, there is a social stigma that if you go to a counselor or if you go to a psychiatrist, if you go to a psychologist, if I am a psychologist, many of the families, they don't like to interact with me in public. Is it that I am so bad? Or is it that they are bad? Here it is not the question of being good or bad. Here is the question of accepting the way the things are. We are not able to do that. So I can keep telling about this 12 years child, about the 16 years old child, about the 18-year-old child. But what we have to know, what exactly is addiction, why addiction, how addiction, where addiction. The addiction is the last step of that child's options, whatever was there. Initially, the family where the child is, the living condition where the child is, the family connections where the child lives, the parenting, is it parent or parenting? That is it. The school, the society, the community, and how people are accepting their child. When all these 8 to 9 stages fail, the child decides, I want to build my own world. I want to stay in the world where I am happy and nobody is going to question me. So what if I have to do that? What's the first thing what the child does is? Isolation. Isolation from where? From himself. If he is isolated, next what? He is isolated within, but he is connected to something else. So why he becomes, when he becomes an addict, why he becomes an addict? So these are the questions what the parents have to ask. Usually when the cases come, I will tell you the one of the case history. One of the parent came, I am talking about the Mangalore case, I am not talking about the other districts or other states or other countries. When the parent came and they said, Madam, nanna huduga, nanna maga ee tara ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಭಾರಿ ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ದ, and then I don't know what to do, he is not listening, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ದ. Then I asked, do you have any idea that does your son smoke? No, madam, smoking illa not possible at all. When there is no smoke, the second question I can't ask, whether alcohol or drugs, maybe they are not even aware about it. I said, okay, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಚೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, you send me the boy. I called him and I asked, the first question I asked to him is, from how long you are smoking? And he said, ma'am, when I was in 4th standard, then 5th standard, then 6th standard, I became normal. The case has come to me when he's in 2nd PUC. 6th standard to 2nd PUC. You see the gap. Is it that the parent or all the other connections for him were unable to see that he was smoking? Fine, smoke again, we can see. Because if somebody smokes and somebody standing to me to this end, even one shoulder away, I can say that he's smoking. Here that thing doesn't happen. Fine. Then I said, when you started drugs? I didn't ask him whether you are taking drugs. No. When did you start? I started when I was in 8th standard. What was your first drug? It was a pharma drug. How did you get this pharma drug? My grandfather was using this, so I used to go to 2 shops, and then because I used to see my grandfather sleeping without anything, so I wanted that. After that, what was your drug? Then he said, I started ganja. I said, from where did you get that? It's one of my friends said, why don't you use? Because he was already using tobacco. So that was the other thing. You see how it is getting upgraded and the period. But the family, is the family uneducated, 10th standard or 12th standard or no education? No. The mother is a graduate. The aunt is also a postgraduate with the education system. So I am not talking about the rack pickers, I am not talking about the slum people, I am not talking about the below poverty level, I am talking about the people, the society, the children, the family where I belong, where my son belongs, where my granddaughter belongs. After that I said, okay, how many girlfriends you had? How many girlfriends is it? Then again, ma'am, I have many, but 3 I am very serious. I said, okay, what's your sexual relationship with them? Regularly when her parents are not there, this. Addiction, I am talking about addiction. But I have still not come there. I have still not come to the addiction part. After that I asked, okay, did she become pregnant? Yes. What was it? She took some tablet. He felt that, I was talking to some person who knew me very well. No, that is the first 15 minutes before I had met him. Are we asking these questions in the school? Families? Parenting? Now if I come to parent and parenting, that is another huge subject. Why the child is into this isolation? Why the child decided to be, I am going to be isolated. 10th standard, he doesn't go to the classes for the whole year. Only 1 month he sits and he studies. And then he passes with 73%. So is he a bad student and not intelligent? Even that is not the thing. Here we have failed in all the stories what we have been telling. When students are good, we don't have to worry. When parents are good, we don't have to worry. When parents are educated, we don't. All these things have failed drastically. I'm only talking about one child, where I think even Vinita ma'am knows that boy. Later on, he again didn't go whole of first year PUC, second year PUC. He was a commerce student, second PUC. Trust me, in 4 days, whatever I taught him, in all the 4 subjects, he passed. Not the 24 months, not the 24 days. I'm just talking about 4 days, and it was hardly about some 30 hours. So this is the intelligence what addictive personality has. So this is where we fail to understand and we label them. He is a drug addict. He is out of the society. So we have to stop. We have to stop that and we have to see what are the other things. Where he didn't fail, I failed as a parent. I failed as a teacher. I failed as a community. I failed as a society. For me, for not understanding or seeing the child for the last 6th standard to 12th standard. The child was doing some mistakes, the child was doing fine, no problem. But where was I? And it was not that connected, the whole society, everybody was connected. All are educated, everything was there. So now that child has completed his second PUC. By God's grace, he is doing his first year BBA in one of the prestigious colleges in Mangalore. So only thing what I did was, I didn't ask, did you do that? I didn't ask him a question. I just I wanted an answer from him. So he answered. So he felt so comfortable and I was talking to that. So we as Mangaloreans, the hub of education, we have so many students from so many other places. Set aside all that differences. I am only talking about a boy who belonged to Mangalore, who was born and brought up in Mangalore. That is the story what I am telling. I can tell you hundreds of such stories. But once a story, why I said connected it to Mangalore, so that you should say, no, that boy is from Bihar, so he did it. Oh, no, that boy is from Assam, he did it. No. This is happening in Mangalore unless and until you don't sit frankly, socially, accept it, talk it, this problem will grow on and on and on. Is addiction something which we all don't know? We all know about it, but we don't know the reality of addiction. Addiction is a disease. What is disease? If you just make disease into D-I-S-E-A-S-E, if you just take that, diseasiness, discomfort in your easiness, diseasiness. So what is that diseasiness? Diseasiness is a kind of disease where only I think in the world this is the one disease which is affected to the entire family. How it is to the entire family? If supposing my father, my brother, any one of my family member is an addict, the first thing what I will do is I will cut off all the social contacts I will have. Why? Because ma'am will come and ask, the other day your father was, what happened, how is he? She will not even complete the sentence, but I know what she is trying to tell. So the best thing is I isolate. So addiction is a disease of the family. What exactly is again addiction? What is it? It is a progressive disease. How is it progressive? As I said, from 6th standard to 12th standard. So it took, for him to become an addict, it took about 6 years. When will we identify? Did the doctors identify? Did the parents identify? The society? Nobody identifies. If I have to talk about HIV and addiction, I think addiction holds much higher place than HIV. HIV we have brand ambassadors, HIV we have funding, HIV we have treatment, HIV we have help, HIV is accepted and HIV is only for one particular person. But if it is addiction, it is to the entire family. This is a family disease, this is a progressive disease, this is a dependency and codependency disease. By the time we understand all this, we are still in the denial. Denial is worse than cancer. Why all these years we were not able to do? When I started this in the year 1986, I think hardly few patients were there. And there was absolutely no rehabs. Today in Bangalore city alone, we have about 130 rehabs. And in each rehab, there are more than 60 patients. What is the age of the patients? So where is that we are lacking? Which department is working? So there are so many questions which is answered. And any of the colleges, do they have a correction centers? No. Any of the universities, do they have a rehabilitation facilities? No. Do they have the thing? No. If they are caught, they are being handed over to the department or they are being debarred, and that is what is the actual measure what we have taken. So this, on this platform, what we are trying to do is that we are opening up a platform for you to come and ask, where is the help, what is the help and how is the help. We are there to answer you. There are many colleges, there are many universities which have taken up this particular program into a serious issue. And if I have to say about the present Commissioner of Police, Sudhir Kumar Reddy, he has become a hero for many of the families. So we are now slowly accepting, especially when we go as counselors, ma'am, please don't tell that, you have come to our house. Ma'am, please don't tell, like I am a tag and people are not ready to accept me. But still we don't feel bad what people are talking about us or what people are accepting. But we as counselors, we as the counselors for especially the drug addicts among the students, we accept you unconditionally and we know in the world which you live. So you have an helpline now through this media. Anybody wants any kind of help, whether it is the family, whether it is the college or whether it is the individual himself or herself. And this is not a problem only for the boys, it is for the girls. This is not the problem for boys and girls, this is a problem for the family. This is not a problem for the family, this is the problem for the community. This is not the problem for the community, this is the problem for society. So this is the connection what we have. To break this link, to break this chain, you all have to make a human real chain. Thank you.